a landmark decision on toxics. Chemicals are usually regulated one at a time, and all too often, the replacement for a phased-out substance is a similar chemical with similar health harm. In 2015, a coalition of nonprofits submit a visionary petition to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, or CPSC. Expert testimony regarding this petition follows.
Our first panel includes Dr. Linda Birnbaum, the Director of the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences and the National Toxicology Program.
The evidence is built to the point that all of these chemicals and all future chemicals of this class, if they are not chemically bonded to the substrate, are going to escape into the environment and then into people.
Organohalogen flame retardants are associated with reproductive impairment, neurological effects including IQ decrements and learning deficits, endocrine disruption, and interference with thyroid hormone action, genotoxicity, cancer, and immune disorders.
Firefighters dying from occupational-related cancers now account for more than half of our members' line-of-duty death. We believe the health risk associated with the use of these chemicals is greater than the fire risk without using these chemicals.
With 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. now facing the lifelong challenge of developmental disabilities such as autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, we need to seriously address chemicals that could be a component of this alarming trend.
How are we exposed?
In a typical home, there can be pound levels. I don't think there are any other toxics where you would actually find pounds in a home.
If you can't go to your home without being exposed, then where can you go?
They will migrate out of products. They will attach to house dust. They will persist in the indoor environment. People will absorb these chemicals into their bodies, into their blood.
So I think unless we approach it as a class, we're going to find ourselves in the same situation 5 years, 10 years down the road.
After testimony from dozens of experts, what was the decision?
I'm delighted that the Commission has voted to grant the petition and to convene a CHAP. We've agreed to provide advice and guidance to the public about the use of OFRs in various consumer products. Let's eliminate them and let's avoid them.
If at the end of the day we look back on this decision and say we made a mistake, I'd far rather us make the mistake that ends up being too protective of children than one that pulls short of that.
This landmark ruling by a federal agency sets an important precedent. Instead of a chemical-by-chemical approach, it limits the use of an entire class of toxic flame retardants. You can learn more about this petition and how to be healthier by reducing the use of toxic chemicals at greensciencepolicy.org.